welcome to
Miami. I'm so sorry. I tried not to, but I just couldn't help myself. That song has been stuck in my head ever since we rolled into Miami.
Yep.
So it's our first time here in Miami. We've always wanted to visit, so we're very excited to explore this weekend. And today's gonna kind of be our what we think of when we think of Miami kind of day.
So we're starting the day at South Beach, and then we're heading over to Little Havana for a Cuban food tour. So the South Beach area is best known for its beach, obviously, and its hoppin' nightlife.
The buildings are this really cool Art Deco architecture style. They're all very pastel-y colors. The beach has the bluest water that we've seen, I think, in Florida so far.
Yeah.
And while nightlife isn't really our thing, we still wanted to come down here just to kind of see what everything looks like, but we chose to come like really early so we can avoid the craziness.
All right, we made it to the Little Havana area, and just to give you a little bit of background about this area, in the 1960s, lots of Cubans came and settled in this area, and it really became the cultural capital for Cuban Americans, and even today there's still a lot of Cuban American owned shops and restaurants.
So it makes it the perfect place for us to stuff our face with as much Cuban food as possible today.
Our first stop of our Cuban food tour, we're at Sonnys De Miami. I like that word.
And we are doing things a little backwards today. We are starting with dessert, and then we're gonna end with coffee later. We just figured our vlog, our rules.
Make it.
Start with dessert, why not? This beauty right here is a batido de timba. And basically a batido is a Cuban milkshake. And I'm not 100% sure what flavor this is. It kind of tastes like strawberry to me, but it has this cookie on top, tons of whipped cream, which is my favorite, a bunch of fruit puree, and I think similar to the place we went to at Everglades, Robert is here, I think is the name of the fruit stand. It's basically just ice and fruit, and I think they added in they were scooping some dairy product. I don't know what it was. I think I've heard they put like either like a creamy cheese type thing or condensed milk in these sometimes, so it was probably something like that, but oh my god, this thing is probably the best milkshake I've ever had in my life. It is so creamy. When I saw a photo of this thing, I was 100% sold on coming to this place just so we could get this thing.
All right, we know there's tons of places you can find a Cuban sandwich in Miami, but we looked around and this one just looked the best to us, and we heard that it was one of the best. This thing looks so good. So a Cuban sandwich, so they have the bread, they have Swiss cheese, pickles, is it mustard?
Yes.
And there's roasted pork, there's ham in there, and then of course they mash it down, toast it on the Cuban press. And ever since I saw the movie Chef with the guy in the food truck that makes the Cuban sandwiches, I always wanted to try one. It's hard to talk right now, my mouth is watering, I'm so excited for this. It's like so crunchy on the outside, it's like, hear that? I've always wanted to eat one of these in Miami, it's a bucket list item. Wow. The bread, it's a Cuban bread, and it's, like I said, really crispy on the outside, but it breaks so easy. It's so brittle, but it's like light. It's not fluffy, but it's flaky. And then the inside, the cheese is melted. Everything works together, the mustard. Oh man, this is awesome.
Before we started vlogging, I was so good at not eating any of the things that make me feel really sick, but I just hate missing out on these experiences. So I'm gonna have one bite. And we actually had a Cuban sandwich like 2 vlogs ago in Atlanta at Ponce City Market, but it wasn't the traditional kind. We had tostones instead of bread, so I'm excited to see how a real traditional Cuban sandwich compares to that. The bread is so crunchy on the outside. Oh my god, that's good. I need it to go away because I want to eat all of that. Wash it down with the milkshake, which we did ask them. This is actually guava and cream cheese. We also got some plantain fries, so I had something to eat. And they're basically just fried pieces of plantain, and they look like French fries on the outside, but when you break them open, they're a lot more, I don't know, starchier is the right word? They're a lot less like fluffy and like potatoey on the inside and just more solid looking, but they're really good, and they came with these really good sauces, and I really like this one. I couldn't tell you what's in it, but it's really good. The guy working here saw us filming and he said I needed to come check out the bathrooms, and I see why, because look how pretty they are. Got some nice gold finishes.
I'm already kind of full, but we have a long road ahead of us.
But not really that long, because the next spot is like a 1 minute walk away.
Yep.
We walked about 100 steps from the last spot over to El Rey de las Fritas to try this guy right here. This is a Frita Cubana, and apparently this was a very popular street food item in Cuba in the 30s. So what it is it's a spiced burger patty, and according to the menu they use like a secret recipe of spices, so I'm not exactly sure what's in it. And then they also have diced onions on here, and then these little fried julienne little shoestring type potatoes. I don't know, apparently this is a popular thing to try, so here we are.
I'm having to do all the dirty work today because these aren't Kathryn friendly foods, but I'm pretty excited to do it, so. It's the same, similar bread as the last sandwich place we went to, but I didn't realize the meat, like it's not spicy, but it's lots of spices in there, and it's like the color of chorizo meat kind of, and then the shoestrings, they're obviously really crunchy, and it's kind of like a cool texture. I don't know how to describe it, but the flavor is awesome too. And I accidentally got one with cheese on it, so there's Swiss cheese on this as well. We are taking a little break from all the eating. I especially need a break. And we are taking a stroll down Calle Ocho, which is also known as Southwest 8th Street, which is like the main area of Little Havana.
And every March, this street turns into this massive street festival called the Calle Ocho Street Festival. And it brings together all the Spanish-speaking communities in Miami, not just the Cuban Americans. And it's apparently one of the largest street festivals in the world, and it gets like 1 million people. We're missing it by about a month exactly, and I can't decide if I'm happy we missed it or sad. It would be really cool to see, but it'd be really chaotic. So I don't know, if you're here in March during that week, definitely come check it out.
Might as well check it out.
It sounds like it'd be fun, good food, good music.
But crazy.
Yeah, but crazy.
Mural is crazy. Looking at it with the naked eye, you can't like, it's hard to make it out, but when I see it through the screen and the camera, you can definitely see the face. It's weird.
It's trippy. Right behind us is probably one of the cutest things I've ever seen, one of my favorite things I've ever seen. A bunch of older Cubans just sitting around and playing dominoes together. We're at this spot called Domino Park. It has a more official name, but it's been around since 1976, and it's just a local gathering spot for the local Cubans to play dominoes, drink coffee, and just socialize with each other.
I really want to jump in a game. I like playing dominoes, but I don't know if they'll let me in. I'm kind of intimidated. They seem pretty serious here, so.
Yeah. Oh, it looks really fun though.
Yeah.
And people just stand around and watch. Apparently it's okay to take photos and video, and they're used to it. People just, it's a tourist spot to come here and just watch the locals play dominoes. Our final food stop of the day is Cafe Versailles, and I wanted to call it Cafe Versailles, that's how I'd pronounce the word, but I think it's Versailles, so if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. And according to their menu, it's the world's most famous Cuban restaurant, and there are tons of Cuban restaurants to choose from in Miami, and we kind of went back and forth on where to go. We met a local last night at a coffee shop, and she told us we had to come try this spot, so even though it's probably a bit touristy, here we are. And we're tourists, so we're just trying to get like the touristy Miami experience today, so no shame in our tourist game, but we hear the food's actually really good.
As we like to do, we get quite the spread. We got more than we bargained for. We wanted to get 2 things and split them, you know, but this is a pretty a feast, you could say. So we wanted to get the most like kind of authentic or traditional items on the menu, but they have like a multi-page huge menu, so they have a couple items that says this is traditional or this is like a traditional dish, so we went with those. But this is Cuban roast beef, so it came with like moro rice, which is black beans mixed with rice. It looks really good. This is it's lechon beef, I think that's how you say it, or pork, lechon pork. I think this is a chicharron, and it comes with all kinds of onions, but it also came with this side dish. There's onions in it, but I don't know what that is. If anybody knows out there what this is in this dish, comment below, because I have no idea. I can't even like make out what it would be. And then this is chicken and yellow rice. It looks like the skins on the chicken. It looks bomb, and then it came with a side of plantains.
This chicken is very moist. It's just very soft, and the rice is really good. It's soft. I'm not really sure what flavors are in here. We've had a lot of food today. We're getting very tired, so it's hard for us to like figure this out, but it has really good flavor, whatever the flavor is, and it's yellow rice, as you can see. And when I googled like traditional dishes, this one especially came up, so that's why we got it. And it's huge. It's really good.
It's probably the yuca, actually. Yeah. No, it tastes like potato. Good.
Oh, that's right. It said that on the menu.
Yeah, there we go. I'm guessing you like kind of get a little bit of that, get a little onion on there, maybe. This right here is like really salty. Yeah.
We love salt.
Soft. Good.
Yeah, this has a really good salty flavor, and as my mom would tell everyone, we love salt almost too much. We put salt on everything, so this is perfect for us, and I think it has orange in it. When I was researching, I think that like the sauce is orange and garlic and some other spices and flavors, and you can get like the citrusiness and kind of tanginess of the orange when you eat this. We are ending our day by finally trying some Cuban coffee. We're still at Cafe Versailles. They have this thing outside called La Ventanita. It's basically just a window you walk up to and you order coffee, and this is very common at a lot of the cafes, so we wanted to give that a shot. And
yeah, it's kind of a crazy ordering process, but you can order there and like drink it. It kind of reminded me like when we were in Italy.
Yeah.
These little ones, and then you just like kind of down it right there.
Yeah, but we took ours off to the side so we could awkwardly film without people staring at us.
A big difference of this though is they make the coffee and then she takes 2 giant spoonfuls of sugar and dumps it in there, and then they pour it in this little cup.
So this is a Cafe Cubano.
Yeah.
And it's basically just espresso with sugar in it, and they put a lot of sugar. So I don't know. I'm curious if it'll be really sweet or really strong.
A little bit of both.
Cheers. Oh, that's good.
So, whoa. It's very strong espresso tasting, but then very strong sugar tasting.
It's really sweet. It's good. It's
but it's
good.
like that caramelized sugar because it was like super hot, you know? Oh, this is gonna get me buzzing.
Do you like? I kind of like felt it in my head, but I'm also kind of tired.
This is like going straight into my bloodstream or something. Like, I don't know.
It's good though, because it's really sweet. We also got a cafe cortadito, but Adam, well, she basically overfilled it. And then really when Adam went to grab it, it spilled everywhere. So we drank that one really fast.
Well, we got 3 drinks and then carrying the camera and all of our other stuff. It was really hard to do, but I spilled like half of it on the counter. It was really embarrassing.
So we just had to finish it really quickly just to put it out of its misery.
Yeah. I was gonna get this thing I'm about to show you anyways, but then when we were waiting to order, they wheeled out this giant cart of them, and it's these pastries they make. They're apparently world famous. And this is a guava one, if we haven't had enough guava today, but dude, look at this thing, it's super flaky, they're fresh, it's still warm. Here we go. It's like a croissant. It's like gummy, but then like crispy, flaky, wow.
This is torture.
Sorry. It was so much fun today walking around Little Havana. There was just so much culture going on. It kind of transported me back to our time when we went to Mexico City and Puerto Rico, but it was really cool to kind of get that experience in the United States.
Yeah, it's just proof that you don't have to go that far sometimes to experience an awesome culture.
Yeah.
So the food was delicious, the music was awesome that we heard when walking around, the buildings were cool. Yeah. It was just a really fun day, and it was just different than what we've been doing lately, so I think that made it extra fun for us.
Yeah, like the Domino Park, you don't see that everywhere.
Yeah, oh man, those men were so cute. So we still have one more day here in Miami to explore. It's gonna be a little less food heavy, but
probably a good idea.
Yeah, we need a nap. Yeah. But it should still be pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
Hi, it's us again. So we planned to film a full vlog during our second day in Miami, which was today. But unfortunately, when I woke up this morning, I wasn't feeling super well, and we were both very exhausted from the heat and just walking around yesterday in Miami. So unfortunately, we did not film a full vlog. But we did film a little bit of our day, and we still wanted to share that with you guys in case you're coming to Miami soon.
We started our day at Vice City Bean to grab some coffee, and then we went over to this place called Zach the Baker, and this place is where I had the best cinnamon roll and chocolate walnut babka of my life. I can't stop thinking about either one of them. So freaking good.
We hung out with our friend Joelle, who we met online, and we were recently on her podcast called How Do You Deal With, where we talked about van life. So if you haven't listened to that yet, give that a listen.
We all walked around the Wynwood area, which is a bunch of city blocks with tons of street art, big murals. It was just a lot of fun to check out.
Yeah, it's a very colorful area of Miami, very hip, very trendy, so definitely recommend going there. We always get bummed when we don't end up filming because we love sharing all of our adventures with you guys, but to be honest, we were just exhausted and we just really needed a rest day. But don't you worry, for all of you going to Miami soon, we'll have a Miami guide out very shortly, which will have all of our tips of things to do and things to eat in Miami.
All right, for real this time. Vlog's over. See you next time.
Okay, bye.